So on this chipper, I made a comment the other day that would make some great cold starts, this V12 would. And somebody said, well, it won't because of the Webasto heater, which you would be correct, but it doesn't work right. So there's a couple little things that didn't turn out the way we planned when we rebuilt this thing. We're learning. One thing we learned is all them hydraulic pumps over there, we should have rebuilt them right from the get-go. We thought we didn't know how they were. We ended up having to tear them all apart and redo them all after we did all the rehosing and everything. Then your transmissions on all these all had to be rebuilt, which we weren't expecting to do. So a few things had to get rebuilt that we weren't, exactly thinking that we had to do from the get-go, which in turn works out better because now when we're rebuilding the 2755, we know the issues we have with this one, and we'll fix all those on that one to be prepared for it. All the transmissions on the 2755 are going to get replaced. They tore the gearbox off that a couple days ago, and they said the lines on the shaft are just completely gone. So that wasn't going to hold up much longer, and it was going to fall apart anyways. So that's good that it's getting all rebuilt. Like I said, we learned a few things on this one. The Webasto, I'm sure some of you will figure it out because you're smart. Here's what we did. So you have your antifreeze going into there, getting heated, coming out here into this valve body, right? This block. And the block goes everywhere. Okay? One goes to that hydraulic tank. One goes to that hydraulic tank. One goes to this fuel tank. And one goes to the cab. I believe, and then, I believe that's it. So therefore, it comes out, it comes into here heated. We want it to go through here, come out there, and go back in the engine and come back around. But one thing that we figured out is that's not how it works. It's going to go with the path of least resistance. So therefore, it comes in here and goes out there and bypasses everything else. So I made mention of I didn't have heat the other day, and this is kind of why. So I think that's going to have to get redone somehow. But you guys talk to me. You leave me comments in the comment section, and I'll explain it this way. Does it have to go like to the hydraulic tank, to the cab, all the way back to the fuel, to that hydraulic tank, then back, then through that? One continuous loop. You guys tell me. That didn't work out, so now there's no heat in the cab. Therefore, this morning it was a little cold. But that was one thing that we learned on the Webasto. It's big enough to do all of it. It's designed to heat all of it up. We got a big one, but that didn't work out like we planned. It looks cooler than I'll get out. But it didn't work out like we had planned. I wasn't there when that was, I think we put that in there, but we didn't have it lined out yet. Anyways, that's why I said it'd make a good cold start, because that's not working properly. So, anywho, that's the latest. Everything else we've had to fix a few things. They had to fix a few things on it. Not we, because I didn't have to. The augers were messed up. Actually, stole one of the augers out way down on the bottom off the other chipper, put it in here, because what happened is we bent one. When we make that auger video a long time ago, that shaft was bent in that auger. So we took one out of this, put it in the new chipper, the 2755. Same auger because it's a 55 frame. and ran it just fine. Then when they put that one in here, they realized it was bent, and it would stop, and it wouldn't tell you it was stopped because the light wasn't working, and then you would be stuck there for 3 or 4 or 5 hours digging out the hole inside. So actually what they did was, when we took the new one down, they pulled another one. They pulled the original one out of 2755, put it back into here, and now that's working fine. But interesting figuring it all out. But it gets you a lot closer to do, a lot easier to do the next one when you've redone this one. So we'll see the progress. I'll have to get some video of the other one here shortly and kind of explain what's going on to that one. So it's a lot of work to rebuild them all, and it's really cheap. So yeah, it's not cheap at all. So anyways, hopefully you guys all enjoyed the video. But yeah, that's all it does, is run into the fuel. The idea was you get here in the morning, everything's warmed up for you if you set your timer, but it's not exactly how it worked. So it needs a little redesign, and probably sooner than later, because it's not cool in the cab. It is cool, but it's not cool. That's your little thing there. Friday. There's the official time. Mode. I've never diddled with this yet. But, I heard these are kind of annoying to set up. I was told to go with, from somebody who has one of these, to go with a Pro Heat and hook it up to that. A little easier to control. Because I know on the Slasher they're tricky. That one on there, having all the different options on, off, up to temperature, all that stuff has to be done. So anyways, one of the issues that we come across. Another one is one of these seals is leaking here, so that's got to get taken out. But fun, just fun. She needs a little bit more work, but once we get her dialed in, it chips like a madman, I'll tell you that much. And it makes good chips. That's just the most important part, is you have to, if you don't make good chips, it's completely useless. So it makes good chips. Still impressed with how it chips. But anyways, that's what we had to fix on it so far. Besides everything else we fixed. Every hose that you can see. Thanks for watching. Just keep rolling.